Okay, we good?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we'll get things underway. All right, what's going on, world? My name's Rob, and this is The Third Eye Unplugged. Here our panel of psychics and New Age artistes blend wit, wisdom, and cocktails as they discuss New Age and perform panel readings for fans. Now, if you happen to be a fan, then we thank you for joining us once again. And if this is your first time at our table, then I'd like to invite you to join the conversation over at thethirdeyeunplugged.com, where you can access your social media outlet of choice. Now, today is special because we have an audience who is joining us via live Facebook feed. So hello to all you and many welcomes. If you have anything you'd like to add to our conversation, just drop a post and I'll do my best to work you in. And later, the panel will give a psychic reading to anyone who would like that. Now, speaking of today's panel, with us today, Christopher Mitos is an astrologer and co-owner of Earth Spirit New Age Center. Trish Ann Josephs is a psychic and artist with more than 40 years of expertise. Wendy Rapp is a paranormal researcher and a professional psychic reader. And Erica Robinson is a master of the Lenormand divination system. Finally, in today's hot seat, we have our special guest and friend, Nancy Fury. Welcome, panel and guest. And I think we now know who we all are. So what are we toasting? What are we drinking?
Oh, we are drinking Arbor Mist, and we either have pear or strawberry. It's a very light and refreshing thing, so we don't get all toasted while we're doing it.
Does anybody have a toast?
Yes, let's toast Archangel Gabriel. I know we've done that in the past, but she's all about communication and people who work in broadcasting, so I think she's a great one to bring in.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
All right. All right, right to our heads. Okay, so sometimes we have a topic, and sometimes, like tonight, we just kind of keep things loose and see where the conversation leads us. So first, let's get to know our guest a little more. Nancy, welcome again.
Thank you.
So tell me, Nancy, what is your history with New Age?
Well, actually, it started mostly with some things my mother had taught me about Native American and Egyptian spirituality. But what really got me was about maybe a year or maybe 2 years after Earth Spirit opened up and was on Front Street. I started coming there, and it was about maybe 14 years ago that I actually started coming regularly, taking classes, different classes here, and coming to circles and just getting to know the whole family. And that's how, so it's been probably around like 23, 22 years since I've been coming. Yeah.
You still do the Native American Egyptian thing? Is that still your...
I'm an eclectic person in spirituality, so Native American spirituality, Celtic, Egyptian, just a very broad, and even Buddhism, and just all different areas. Whatever fits.
Whatever gets you. Do you do any psychic work like the panel does? Do you do readings at all?
I do readings, but for myself, I don't. I took a course with Chris for tarot, and also his astrology class. But I don't feel comfortable doing that for others. But I definitely am empathic.
Sure. Now, how do you define empathic?
Well, I actually feel what people feel, and I am able to, by somebody's facial expressions, by their body expressions, I absorb from people. So I can sit there and almost know what somebody's thinking. I'm not saying I read their minds, but it just comes off of them in waves, and I get it. So when people try and hide things from me, that can be very uncomfortable.
Do you have kids?
I do. And she never got away with anything. Ever. Wow. But it can be difficult, especially in business, when you're sitting nearby to somebody and you're having a conversation and you're thinking, oh boy, that's not... That's not what they're saying. And
That's not what they're thinking.
That's not what they're thinking, and that can be a little uncomfortable as you're trying to converse with someone. So, yeah, it's interesting, but sometimes it's uncomfortable.
I think all moms have to be slightly psychic.
Oh, yes.
One form or another. See, I get that with the empathy thing. I get that in the store when I take people's money. and I'm holding on to something that's been in their pocket, it's been close to them, and I take it, and
You feel
if I'm not careful, I will sometimes get overcome with
really?
an emotion or an energy. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
That's a problem when a stripper puts out a whole lot of singles.
Oh.
There's all kinds of
Oh,
problems.
come on, you thought it. Don't even.
Oh, no. But,
Where has this money been?
Oh, well, you know.
but yeah, I mean, there are times that it can be hard to hold in your emotion. It can be, yeah.
To hold in your own.
For you, because you're getting something off of someone else.
Right.
And I don't even mean the person doesn't have to be crying, that you feel it. And sometimes once you leave the presence of that person in a physical sense, you can become overcome with what you just felt. So, yeah.
So this must have been a heavy week for you.
Well, it's been an unusual week, I would say, for me. There's been a lot of ups and downs for me, but I don't necessarily know why, but it has been
I just
very
think
heavy week.
everyone this week has been, I think it's been an energetically heavy, hard week.
Yeah, I've had better ones. But it's all good.
That's why we try to keep it light tonight, hopefully.
Yes.
Shed some of that. I know we've all experienced that this week. I think you're right on that.
Yeah.
I think I was talking to Erica yesterday, and it was mentioned appall. There's
Appall,
appall over
yes.
things.
Yeah.
So it's up to us to break that pall.
Yes.
Nancy, one last thing that I have. What in all of this have you yet to explore that you want to explore?
You mean in the learning in my spiritual path?
Your spiritual path, New Age. What is the one thing I just haven't gotten around to that, but I'm...
I would say I would like to just learn a little bit deeper, a little bit more regarding astrology. It sometimes seems a bit complex to me. And
It's complex.
You know,
Yeah,
and
it's
so, you know, I mean, your initial class, Chris, it was wonderful because it helped for me to have a framework, to have a very minor understanding. I'm not looking to go into the direction that you know what I'm saying? But what
You'd fine if you did.
but I just mean, I would just like to delve a little bit deeper into it. Sometimes I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
But I find it fascinating. I really do.
I think we all do. Thanks for joining us again. Does anybody have any plugs or anything they want to announce before we get into things?
Well, I should plug. My mother is doing a psychic message circle. She's going to be starting at the store. It's going to be once a month. She started doing it. She was something she did years ago, and she's going to be starting it up again. It's going to be $15 per person, and it's about an hour and a half or so. It's starting at 7 o'clock. It's going to be this Wednesday here at the store at 7, and we'll be doing it again next month. We don't have a date for next month yet, though, but that's what's coming up.
Oh, wow.
I know she's very excited about it.
Oh, yes, she is.
Yeah.
Very popular.
She's very excited about it, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd like to do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
They're fun.
If you're hearing this and you'd like to register for it, do it soon because it's filling up.
Yeah, it
Only have a
is.
few seats left.
Yeah.
For this one. Yeah. This Wednesday. I stumbled across a tarot deck that I'm fascinated by. It's called the Ghetto Tarot, and I know we're all familiar with photography in tarot. It seems to be a thing that a lot of people are doing, taking pictures of blah. But this one, I don't know, there's something about it that I found very compelling. She tries to very faithfully recreate the pictures of the Rider-Waite, but using Haitian artists as models and also the producers of the artifacts that go around the card. And it was just a beautiful deck. I have some samples I just thought I'd show you guys.
That's out now. I remember seeing.
Have you seen it?
I saw images of it as being developed. I didn't know that it was.
No, it's actually available now. And I just thought these were just beautiful images that they put together, that these people found, and this artist group at Port-au-Prince put this all together. And
Oh, wow.
the fact that they really tried to have the essence of the Pamela Coleman Smith
Oh,
pictures.
wow.
I really enjoyed
That
that.
is really beautiful.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, check it out, www.ghettotarot.de.
The name's unfortunate, in my opinion, but
It
it's
has an
okay.
interesting, but they explain it as they've kind of embraced the word
Right.
and given it a life as a cultural identity of it. But I think, regardless of the name, I just think the imagery is fascinating. I'm just moved by a lot of it. So check it out. I'm going to get one. So speaking of cards, maybe we should do our card of the day.
Oh, okay. I'm going to let Nancy pick it since she's
All right.
next to our guest.
Okay.
Now, in this, we just draw a random card from the deck, and the readers tell us about that card. This isn't a reading. This is just instructional and just
What do we get?
conversational. What do we get there?
Can't see.
What is it? Oh, the Emperor.
Oh, the Emperor.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what's everyone's experience with the Emperor?
The Emperor is strong. He's a leader. He's absolute. He's the masculine.
Like the father figure.
Father figure, there you go.
He's honest. That's what's most important. He's an Aries. It's about Aries. The card's about Aries. And Aries is, it's King Arthur. It's noble, fictional, noble leadership that is completely honorable with no hidden agenda and no politics. That's the image. What it usually comes down to is time to take charge.
That's what the message is.
Oh yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
advice.
You gotta take action. Aries is about action.
Generally seen as a positive card, then
Leadership.
the
Yeah.
Emperor
Yes.
comes
Yeah, I
through.
usually see somebody who's very grown up.
Yes.
Yes.
If it's like in a relationship spread and that card comes up,
Yeah.
okay, this is somebody who's mature, who knows how to be in that situation.
I always say he's a real man.
Yeah,
there you
there
go.
you go.
Real
Yeah.
man.
I
He's a
say
real
firm
man.
and absolute,
Yes.
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very firm in it.
If someone drew the card, what would be your advice to them if they were talking about a job? They draw the Emperor.
Well, it could be their future boss.
Yeah.
Right. So it could actually be a physical person.
Yeah.
not
Oh,
just
yes.
the ideal.
That's how I see it.
Now,
sometimes.
in the certainly Erica uses the Lenormand deck. Is there a correlation, or is there a card that's similar that would speak to that?
No, there isn't.
Nothing that talks about that
No,
kind of.
Is there a
figure.
leader or a strong
No.
man in the deck?
no,
Okay.
there isn't.
Interesting.
I mean, there's a man,
Oh.
but
Yeah.
Oh, he just represents.
he's just a man.
Right.
He represents a person who's a man, but no, it's a completely different system because it's pictographs as opposed to images, and so it's all words.
Right.
So no, there's no parallel.
Not quite the same.
No.
All right. Do you find that's true of a lot of the cards? That are there anagrams, or not anagrams? That's the wrong word. Are cards analogous to other cards in the tarot, or is it usually different?
The one card that of course is analogous would be the Sun. That's a wonderful card to get in any deck, in any system. So that is one that is not analogous, but people worry that it is. So I have to always reassure people, no, this is not tarot, is the Tower. Because there is a tower here, but it does not portend disaster or anything like that. It can mean loneliness. It can refer to something official. So if you had a card maybe that came closest to the Emperor in terms of rectitude, doing the right thing, following the rules, that kind of thing, that would be the Tower.
Tower. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Well, the tower is associated with Mars in astrology too, which has to do with Aries. There's always a correlation.
And the star, there's a star, or stars in this deck as well that I think is pretty analogous to the meaning of star in tarot.
So there are some parallels.
There are
but
some.
And in a lot of ways, it does its own thing.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Just turn into astrology. Chris, I'm hearing something about Donald Trump, Dr. Oz, and something. I know you posted something earlier on the.
I did,
the
and it's
site.
interesting. Somebody sent this to me, and he was asking my opinion of it. Donald Trump appointed Dr. Oz as a White House medical.
What?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, as a health advisor or something like that.
A White House medical what?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Well, see, I know where you're going with that, and I agree. But the point, I mean, Vox magazine just did this horrible takedown on it. It's that is straight astrology is bullshit. And is that going to get beeped?
I don't know.
Okay. I think we can leave that. because all Oz is saying, and I would have to agree. If I went to a doctor and he was diagnosing me based on astrology, I would have an issue with that, of course. But I am certainly not concerned with with a doctor who's open to that. I cannot tell you how many times when I've been reading people, and Neptune is square your sun. There's a hard to diagnose illness that nobody can figure out what's going on. Saturn conjunct your sun in the 5th house. You're having heart issues. Neptune conjunct Mars in the 8th house. There's a problem with your. There's a problem with either gynecological issue or a prostate problem. These things are real, and we do see it. And the way I try to describe it is like this: astrology will give you a picture of something that can be there, an underlying problem, or also a time when a problem can show up for you. In the same way, when they do a DNA test and they say, you know what, you've got the breast cancer gene, that doesn't mean you're going to get it. It just means that there's a higher likelihood. And environmental factors, a lot of other things come into play. And astrology is the same thing. So, and I've always said, when you get hit by a bus, you want to see a doctor, not have a shaman dancing over you. But, and in this case, I don't think what Dr. Oz was saying was, we should now incorporate astrology into medical practice. It's just that what they were taking issue with was that he considered it at all.
Well,
and I do take issue with that.
Well, here's
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's not even about that. It's about we have enough people from TV land in the White House. Okay,
That's a separate issue, and I agree with you absolutely.
Enough is enough.
I'm just
Fox
saying that
people,
just this particular thing. That's where I was saying. I totally agree. What are we going to have next?
Janine Pirro as
yes.
as Attorney General.
Yeah, like I nearly lost my mind when I read that.
I'm just saying that in this particular case, I don't take the same level of offense. And I am the first one when people have medical issues to be like, don't go to the reader, don't go to the shaman, go to a doctor. That's where you want to go first. But there have been many times where I've pointed people in that direction because of what's going on in their astrology chart.
So you're saying Dr. Oz has a point here.
He has a point.
Right.
Again, you don't want to go to a hospital whose basis is astrological medical diagnosis. I mean,
How much of that do you think, does everybody think, New Age, whether it's astrology or tarot or something, comes into politics and government? I mean, do you think it's far more random?
Well, look at Reagan.
Look at Reagan.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, she had an astrologer, Kitty Kelly.
Yeah.
Who came into the White House all the time and did not only her charts, but she did Ronald Reagan's chart. And Nancy Reagan advised her husband when to do things and not do things.
Well, I'd like to give a plug to a modern day astrologer who I think does an incredible job with this. His name is Ed Tamplin, and he's in Australia, based in Australia. And every month he will speak to politics and the astrological situation and history and how you see cycles, etc. Brilliant. Ed Tamplin.
I wonder how much our politicians are listening to that advice.
Well, no, that's what I'm going to say. Reagan, each one of his inaugurations was not exactly 12 noon, and there was a reason for that. And there's reason to think that George Bush Sr. followed that advice too. When you look at the astrology of that invasion of Iraq for the first time, and then you compare it to his son, who was not using his astrologer, that second Iraq war was started on the last day of Pisces, the last degree of Pisces, which is what we call the misery degree, which and under a balsamic moon, you cannot start something under that. Any astrologer with even a modicum of understanding would say, no, this is not a good idea. So sure, it's totally possible that he is. I mean, I can't imagine that Trump is using good astrologers.
I don't think he's using anything.
Was there one in the National Enquirer?
I don't think they're an astrologer, really. No, I don't think he's using anything.
Yeah.
That seems pretty clear.
Yes.
All right, moving on. Now,
Yes.
our last episode, that would be episode 8 for those keeping track. We discovered that Trish has a thing for superheroes. And for as long as that curiosity holds out, she's going to give us a super being of the night. So, Trish, what have you dug up?
Okay, so I have dug up an Aikido master from Japan, Isawa Machi, and there's an incredible YouTube video, so you can search Modern Samurai on it. He holds a lot of Guinness World Records already, but the one that intrigued me so much was that they actually had a film crew film this in a firing range outside of Los Angeles. So they had a guy holding a BB gun, and Machi-san with his sword in his scabbard and his katana in his scabbard, and they fired the BB gun at him 70 feet away. He drew his sword and cut the BB pellet. And that was coming out at traveling at 200.
Did they find the BB?
Oh, yes. They filmed this, and they used a slow action camera. The BB was going at 200 miles per hour. They had a psychologist from this California State University there to observe it. And you saw the playback in a slow-mo, and that's katana came out, and he cut the BB, and you could hear it go clink, and they actually found it, and there was a little edge notch out of it. And just to watch the slow-mo video, and it goes, woo, when it happens, because it is like so totally amazing.
What's it go now?
That a human being did that. And he's been practicing since he was 5 years old, so it's a lifelong practice. And like I said, he holds records in a lot of
So it's a very
things.
practical superhero power that you can use
Yes,
every
I
day.
mean, oh my goodness.
Deflecting
and
BBs all day long.
The professor of psychology said he was not using visual sensory. There's just no way because it was too fast.
Is it from his martial arts training? Is that
There
what
was no conclusion.
All right.
But yes, I would imagine it is. I would imagine this is my personal, that he used the key to cut it, or chi, or the force, because it's definitely right there, just like the force be with you. It's so cool. So
what was the name of this?
if you go on YouTube, if you do Modern Samurai, but his last name is Machi.
See, that's a superpower I would not want.
But it's-
Lightning reflexes, I'm klutzy enough. I would just, this would all be falling down. It would be over.
Anyway, it was fun
Can't
to
do it.
watch, and I'm like, good for him.
Yeah. Good for you. All right. Does anybody have any news they want to get to?
Well, we just said before it was
I can
kind of a
recite
bad
one or
week.
two, but
Do we want to get
do you want
into the
something?
news?
Do you want something thoughtful? Do we want something totally offbeat, or something?
Offbeat.
Offbeat. We're
Offbeat,
offbeat
yes.
people.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So we all have, and some of us even use the brain in our heads.
Oh.
But did you also know that we also have a brain in our butts?
Oh,
Oh.
According to researchers, the brain in our butts is smarter than you might expect. Researchers discovered the second brain by studying a cluster of nerves in the colons of mice that is remarkably similar to how the head brain looks at early stages of development. Humans apparently have a similar scaled-up version of this nerve cluster that works independently of the central nervous system. So, which brain do you use when you're doing readings?
Definitely not my butt.
I use
Not
the
that way.
heart brain.
There you go.
But
Yeah,
it's
the heart
interesting
brain
because
and the
this is a
stomach brain,
separate
right? You have those.
system altogether. It's a
But
completely
this is a
unique.
completely, because you've heard, about the heart. They say that's
Heart brain.
one, and then
Yes.
your gut is another one.
So
But
there's
this is
there's a butt brain.
Apparently,
butt brain.
there is a
Butt
butt
brain.
brain.
And
yes.
what does it? I mean, what is its
It
function?
controls your digestion and
So
gets
then what
your
happens-
colon
Oh, well, okay.
moving.
Right.
All right,
Okay.
then.
But it
Oh,
will
that's
function
appropriate.
even if all this goes down.
Right.
Your central nervous system
Okay.
goes down. It still works.
So we're calling that a brain.
So when
It's
you say,
calling it a
like,
brain,
if you
but-
say to somebody you have your head up your ass,
Yes,
that's
yes.
a
There
compliment.
it is.
That's a compliment.
See,
exactly.
when I put this to paper, I said someone should say that you have your head up. And
I was gonna-
Well, I think
thank
there's-
you for winning the
I
prize.
think there's about 61 million people that used it when they voted in 2016.
That is
Oh,
true.
my.
Yes. They were in that school, weren't
There
they?
we go.
So, a YouTuber has posted a video of what he believes to be a herd of animals roaming the Martian prairie.
Oh.
Conspiracy theorist Neil Evans posted the video to his YouTube channel Disclosed Screen to predictably mixed reactions. The low-res images compare aerial shots of the red planet with similar views of wildlife on Earth. So, yes or no? Life on Mars?
No.
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 Not at all.
Well,
with
there
that.
might
It's a
be.
building
But
block.
not
They're
with
not
that.
birds.
No,
Not
no,
birds and
yeah.
animals grazing.
No,
No.
I mean, they discovered this, aside from those building blocks, they also discovered there's methane that's being released.
Oh,
whenever the
yes,
weather
I
gets
saw
warm,
that movie.
Which is a signature for life. So there could be.
But not with this.
Not with
Why
this.
are we even having these discussions? No, I mean, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just, I hear this all the time. We've had people in the store with a freaking Flat Earth Society.
Oh, I
and
know. Is that crazy?
with these things, they're all based on videos they saw on YouTube. It's like, girl, the Earth is round.
Yeah.
You ever been in a plane?
I know. I don't get that, right?
Astrology only works if you understand. I mean, it's pretty complex when you have to figure out an astrology chart, but it only works if the Earth is round. And it works. I mean, the actual casting of the chart. You can only predict where the planets are going to be if the Earth is round.
So did they say that the astronauts got it wrong, or that was a hoax?
No, it's a lie.
The
It's a
whole
hoax.
thing. The whole thing. And the question with the flat Earth is, who's gaining from this?
Right.
Who is gaining? I understand conspiracies are about someone.
The same anti-intellectuals who are gaining from a lot of things that
Yes.
are going on today.
Yes.
But from their
Yes.
perspective, from the people who are saying the Earth is flat, who do they think is gaining from this
I don't know,
conspiracy?
and you would think though a group like that would do an annual trip to the edge every year, right?
I wish they would.
I'd love to see that picture.
They're on a trip to the edge on a regular basis.
I mean, really, if you think the Earth is flat and it has an
Go
edge,
for it.
wouldn't
Jump.
you take a big trip and then, have cameras and exciting?
I would love to see the edge. Yeah.
Sure. It's
a
just, I mean,
water
they,
falling.
but they say, well, they acknowledge the other planets around. They acknowledge the
they
sun,
do.
the moon, just the Earth is flat. It's like,
What?
Why?
well,
I guess it's flat. Why? Because they don't tip over when they walk or
they don't
something.
believe in gravity. They
Yeah.
don't believe in gravity.
Oh, so gravity's a hoax as
Yeah.
well.
Gravity's a hoax.
Wow.
Earth is a hoax.
Oh,
It's just-
Lord.
How do you argue with that level of
You
stupid?
can't.
I mean,
You
you
can't.
don't.
No, you
can't.
can't.
It's-
How do they explain falling
Yeah,
things?
you dropped
But
the can.
but the scary part is,
Yeah.
I think it was last month. They had that poll. It was really they did a study on millennials and young people. That 1/3 of all young people question that the Earth is round. They don't necessarily all believe it's flat, but they question it.
Or are they just allowing people to have the space to have that opinion?
Oh,
they want to seem
that
like,
sounds
I
like
don't
you
know.
know,
I don't know. I think there's a lot of school
20-year-old.
systems that are failing us, and I don't think it's the ones that are the public school system. I think it's all these people that are homeschooling their kids.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No science, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
exactly.
I think
yeah.
there's in the Christian.
No history.
Oh, I don't know. If I had it to do it over again, I would absolutely homeschool my
Really?
But
daughter.
you
would.
are a Harvard educated.
And I'm
There's a
also
difference.
someone
What's
ending
what's
up a
what's
30-year
scary,
public
Sherry?
school
What we're talking about,
career.
or us? She wrote very scary. Is it us or is it?
oh God, is the shot that bad on the camera?
No, it's not that. No, it's not that.
It's the flat Earth stuff, I can
It's the
imagine.
flat- yes,
Of
there you
course
go.
it is. Of course it
There
is.
you go. Oh my goodness. Now I actually read something not too long ago, and I blew me away, where it was said that we are able, our brain has decided not to see our nose. We can actually see it. The brain said it would be too much of a distraction. That's why we don't see our own nose.
When we're looking out. Yeah.
Yes, when we're looking out, our brain
Oh.
made the decision because it was too much of a distraction. And I just thought, that's fascinating.
Well, there's also
That
a
is
blind
awesome.
spot. There's also a blind spot that we don't see too. There's a blind
But-
spot in our vision that we don't.
Wait, there's a blind spot that we don't see?
Uh-oh.
Do tell.
It would look like two black spots, but we don't see it because
Like
our
the
brain
brain
is
chooses not
overcompensating.
to. When I read that,
Well,
I thought that was kind of cool
it's scary
because the brain's doing it on its own.
because because I think people are choosing what they want to see and not see. And the more you make certain choices about what you'll see and not see, the more you move in certain directions. I mean, again, I'm back to politics. If you say certain things enough,
Right.
they can be lies,
Right,
but people will believe it.
right.
Right.
It's not guns that kill people.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh,
The
Flat guns.
earth is flat.
They
The
do.
earth is flat.
I don't know. No.
No, but that's very interesting that we have that psychological discussion right alongside a very physical one that you brought up, Nancy, that the body will do that. It will not see some things.
Well, that's why intention is so important
Right.
in every moment. You know, the whole theory that you create reality.
Yes.
That's based on what we pay attention to.
Right.
And I think a lot of people nowadays are not just paying attention to the things that maybe they should.
It's true.
That's a true story.
All right, I think I will skip some of the other news stories
Okay.
before we get too far here. So then what we will do now, we will move on to the part of the show where we take questions and we do readings. So first up for that, we'll have Nancy. If you're familiar with the show, you know that this is what we do. The panel does its thing for guests. Today we're adding to that by opening up the question to our Facebook listeners. If you're following the live event and you want our panel to give you some insight, just post your name, your birth sign, and your question. You don't have to go into a lot of detail. If you just want a general read, the panel can do that too. In the meantime, the panel will start with Nancy. Wendy?
Okay, Nancy, we're going to now open up our third eyes and use the cards for a little focus here. Are you ready for a reading?
Yes, sure, go ahead.
So the first thing we usually do is just ask, what does the universe want Nancy to know? So,
I'd like to know that as well.
and I hope you have some questions.
I do.
Good. Trish, you got something over there?
Well, I have a lot of people in your life. You a lot of people in your life?
I do.
I got
Absolutely.
2 men here. I got a pending marriage and something quiet. So I'm thinking it's not about you. It's about people around you. Are you just highly involved with your friends or family?
I have a lot of friends, acquaintances. I have some close friends, couple close
Is
friends.
there a wedding you're going
There
to?
is no wedding that I'm going to at this time, no.
Okay.
But I do know a lot of people, and it is possible that somebody I know is, going to tie the knot. But I'm a human resources person, so I am around a lot of people.
So you also get to hear their stories.
I get to hear a lot.
Okay, because I have a whole lot of people here, and I have maybe a broken romance and a canceled wedding. And they probably don't.
Well, the
relate
broken
to-
romance thing could also be applicable to me. I don't know.
All right.
Oh, can I follow
Yes.
through with that?
Yes,
Because
please do.
It's funny, I'm seeing the same thing. So, is there something that recently broke up for you? Or is, like, not to get too personal,
No,
but
no.
like it's kind of not maybe in the best place it could be right now?
Yeah, not in the best place it could be right now. I think there's more emphasis on broken than up.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? It's funny because I feel like from that something good is going to come out of this for you, like moving forward. But I do see, I kind of get the feeling something new coming in.
Oh, okay. Because
All right.
I'm getting the 8 of Cups, which is
Yeah.
done with this and moving on to something else.
So I pulled 5 cards for you. So I have the coffin, the bed, the woman, crossroads, and the dog. And have you been sick recently or felt kind of down recently?
I felt down. Been feeling a
Right.
bit,
So you've been feeling down, and maybe some time to yourself has helped you reach a crossroads, reach a decision about a relationship.
just basically saying, okay, I'm just letting go. I'll
Right.
go with the flow kind of thing. Not putting any much more into it.
Right. So that was a good decision.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, and can I just, because I do have these 2 men here.
Yeah.
You have, I guess, a friend or a brother or someone that always wants to try to cheer you up, and he knows you're down.
I have a lot of people.
Right. I mean, this could be friends, but I'm just saying.
I just recently, it was interesting because during the Mercury retrograde, I learned something new about retrograde, was people coming back, like returning. And somebody I know returned into my life,
Oh,
a
okay.
friend.
That makes sense.
So that was really great. That was
Yes,
like a
yes.
wonderful thing.
This
It was like,
made
oh my
you
goodness.
feel much better. And then the other one's too stern. Too, I'm not
Yes,
rigid. Too,
yes,
Okay.
yes, definitely that, and it's just, but it was, and the returning piece of it was just very,
Yeah,
very
it's
interesting. I had no idea that that was part of Mercury retrograde.
I didn't.
So that was amazing.
So, any questions on what we just said? Anything you want clarified?
Well, as far as what everybody was talking about, yeah, I just, I guess I'm at a point in my life. I am comfortable in my skin. I am comfortable in my age, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be walking the rest of my path solo, if you will.
Oh, we can look at that.
You know, there's not been a lot of, I think maybe because my age, kind of any romance.
I'm going to interject while they're pulling cards, the astrology of the matter.
Yeah.
Okay, right now, transiting Jupiter is trine your moon. It will be that way into the fall.
Okay.
And that is a really nice astrological energy. It's a good time to be out connecting with others. There's some real potential there. And then Jupiter moves into Sagittarius this fall, which makes nice transits for you for like a year. So that actually might very well be in the cards. I wouldn't, with Saturn leaving you alone, having it all be positive Jupiter transits,
Okay.
that could very well be that.
Well, okay. I'm not actually looking per se. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like,
No, I agree with Chris. I do think that someone will be coming in for you, someone new, someone older, mature, not a game player.
oh, that's nice.
And I think it's someone that you'll meet in a serendipitous way,
okay.
just sort of unexpectedly.
Right, because like I said, I'm not
'Cause you're
looking.
not looking,
I'm not looking.
yeah.
So right.
And I agree with Eric. The cards that I pulled, I have a sudden event, something shifting.
Right.
But it's just right in line with you're going to be in the right place at the right time, and it's going to be in the fall. I do feel like it's going to be in the fall, and something to do with a nurturing aspect
Yeah.
of your life. I don't know.
Oh no, go ahead.
I just want to tell you, I'll give you a message of the energies that I see around you. And I have no explanation for them, but you might understand them. They're gentle farm animals. There are lambs. I'm seeing their faces. Bunny rabbits, birds, quail. I'm seeing like ground birds. But anyway, and I guess not a farm, but if you lived out in the rural, you might keep. Oh, I don't know if you keep these things, but anyway, it's just the energies I see around you.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Yeah.
do live out in the woods, so there you go.
But these are gentle creatures.
yes.
Okay.
Getting a whole Snow White vibe there.
Oh
I want pictures.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
I do have a question though regarding my career.
Okay.
And so the question that I have is, I've gone through this weird thing for a little bit over a year now. There is a area that I would like to transition my career into, which is emergency management. And about 5 or 6 times now over the last year plus, I have gotten very clear, yes, it's a go. You're going to go into it. And, oh no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And this has been strong like 5 or 6 times. And what I mean is that one of the instances, a job was posted within where I work at DEP, and they have their own emergency management. And the posting was almost like it was written with my background. And that fell through. And then I decided, well, you know what? I'll reach out to New Jersey State Police Emergency Management because they run emergency management for the state. And I reached out to the major who ran that department for a professional courtesy. And he came back gushing to me and was saying, wow, would you come? That would be great. And that fell through. So there's been a lot of fits and starts, and I'm saying to myself, what's going on with that? I feel like I'm being pulled that way, but yet the door keeps getting slammed.
Something I'm going to tell you is, your moon's in the 20-degree range of Pisces, and Neptune's going to be moving in the conjunction with your moon over the course of the next couple of years. That will heighten your creativity, your emotional connectivity with others. That could be about relationship. But on the other side of it is it could put you in a position where you already have a nature with the Pisces moon of having the ability of giving too much of yourself. sacrificing too much and not getting anything in return.
Yeah.
And the Neptune over that will send that into the stratosphere.
Really?
So it could be part of the holdup is the energy needs to pass because it could consume you. It could be so much that you're doing and not getting anything back.
Okay. I don't want to do that. I do give a lot. I do give a lot at work.
Yes,
So,
I'm sure
yes.
you do.
Well, Erica's pulled like half her deck, so we're gonna let
So,
her-
Yeah.
well, yeah, this is just the spread I do when I want to go into some depth. So, as you were talking, I was pulling the first two lines and I saw exactly what you said. That you thought, here's the sun, that
Right.
great card.
Okay.
This is perfect for me. This is great. This is going to be, and then something falls through. Then I see this man
Right.
who makes you feel like the sun, the moon, the stars,
Yes.
it's all going to align and you think it's great. But then it doesn't pan out. You may have to go further afield than you think you do to get into this line of work, whatever that means.
Okay.
Also, it's going to take some time. I do see it, just as Chris said, I think it will take some time because there's things that you don't know yet. So networking is really important. You want to network with the right people. I agree with Chris about being a good steward of your time and being self-protective. Because here's the fox, and the fox is you. The fox, even though foxes, you don't want a fox in your life because they're sneaky and all that stuff. However, sometimes a fox can be you, and it's reminding you to be self-interested. To ask yourself, what's in this for me? I do think that if you do that, you're going to talk to the right people, and it's going to have a happy ending because here we've got the sun mirroring Clover. It's going to happen when time will pass. You'll wait with this tree here, and then all of a sudden, the right thing will come up. And I do think it's the right area for you because I drew 3 postscript cards, was what I call them, and there's you, and there's spirit, and there's the bed. So you will feel as though you've landed in the right place. This is work that you're supposed to do.
Okay.
Trish, what'd you get?
Oh, okay. So the end result, I got you are going to be in the place that you're supposed to be, and it's going to be suited for you correctly. So that's where you're going. But to get there, I got a lot of being excited and then being let down,
Like
being
fits
excited
and
like
starts.
That. But also, I'm wondering, is there a possibility that there's an issue that you're a woman in these positions?
Well,
Because I
yeah.
have, and I don't know if there is, I don't even know if that's still an issue out in the workplace, but, I'm getting that there are some sort of overtones of, well, my friend wants this job, or I don't know. There's just some overtones there.
I mean, when you look at the state OEM, it is the vast number of people in the positions that I'm looking at would be male.
Okay. And I don't know if there's like a tendency for that or something, but it just feels
I think it's old hat. I mean, I
Yes,
think,
I do too.
but at the same time, Major was tripping over himself, saying to me, could you come now? Could you lateral in?
Yeah.
Because of the background that
right.
I had, it was like, oh. So, I mean, yes, there are still a lot of men in it, but I think it's just the nature of the beast, and slowly, little by little, women are coming into it.
So I think that might be one of your stumbling blocks. But you are going to be finding just and actually bless these stumbling blocks because they're holding the place for you for where you should be.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'm seeing it being a struggle to get what you want, but you will end up with what you want. But there's also a feeling of getting it through someone you know or having some connection. So
That's right. I agree with that.
someone you know. It might be that person you were talking
It
about.
might
I
be
know.
that
No, I
person.
know. I know who it is.
Oh, okay.
I know who it is.
But it's going to be a bit of a waiting game. But you're going to get exactly what you want, so it's worth the wait.
Okay.
It's worth the
So
wait.
that's good.
That is very cool.
So any questions on that?
No, I think that's, a little bit more time and,
Patience.
patience.
Not something
Time,
that most
patience, networking.
Okay.
It's a lesson
Other
for a lot of us.
questions?
For a lot of us, yeah.
Right? I've started to simplify my life a lot. I had a pool taken out. I've been uncluttering and getting rid of things. And just trying to move forward in my life. Some of these decisions, like removing a pool, was a big decision.
Yeah.
I was used to having it, and life changes for me. And there was times that I was kind of concerned, like, I'm making a lot of these big decisions, and am I making the right decisions, and things like that. I guess that, those kind of things, making big decisions. Is there anything showing that maybe I should calm down a little bit, or maybe I should just, kind of plateau out? But I just feel like I keep moving forward in that.
No, I'd have to say you're on the right track. It's almost like there's a, you weren't thinking of moving too, were you?
Well, not immediately, but my house is going to be part of my retirement. So
you're preparing for your future.
yes, getting things done in my house so that it will bolster the amount of money I can get when it's time.
So I get that this decision to sort of move forward comes after a period of feeling very stuck.
Yes.
A long period of feeling very stuck. I don't know whether you have discussed this with a friend or not, or friends, but it does seem that you have support in making these decisions, and that the moving forward in this way. I asked yes or no, whether you were sort of pacing yourself the right way, is what I think you were wanting to know.
Yes.
And the answer is definitely yes.
Okay, that's comforting.
Yeah.
And I want to say, I think that move is going to come sooner than retirement. I don't know why, but I do. And I think relationship has something to do with that.
That's nice. That's
What do
nice.
you got?
I have you feeling very comfortable with your decisions.
Now.
And yes.
Yeah.
And feeling like, oh, I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad I did this. But there was a driving force in your life to start clearing things out. And that was in the past. And now it's like, it's freeing you up to make new choices.
Yeah, absolutely.
So any other questions? For
No,
us?
I'm feeling good. Thank you very much. I appreciate all that
Thank you for
input.
being so open.
Yeah.
Now, does anybody who is watching us have any questions? I know Sherry Alkin, my friend, has been making little comments and asking me non-PG rated questions.
Oh, is that your
Sherry.
friend that had that
The one with the
video?
video where, Sherry, I showed
okay.
everyone the video where you're howling at the moon.
And it's gorgeous, by the way.
So she wanted to know
set, yeah.
if her question was, what does the cosmos have in store for Aries?
Aries?
Lots of good things. The fall. The fall is the time for Aries. That's when Jupiter was in the Sagittarius. They're all going to be in a good place. Does anybody else who is listening have any questions they want to write in?
Oh, we're not doing cards for Sherry?
Oh, Sherry, do you want us to do a question for you?
I'm sorry. I thought it was...
Well, no, we can do a question on Aries. Sure, yeah. Pull some cards on Aries.
Okay,
yeah.
I did. And she needs a rest because she's been working too hard, or she's been under a lot of stress. So she needs a rest, and apparently trips are a way for her to rest.
Well, she just got back from one.
Okay. Or maybe that's what was making her so tired.
Okay.
Because I just got she needs some rest.
Okay. Anybody else?
I get that she's got a decision to make about something, and she is going over and over and over this decision in her mind, and having a hard time coming to some conclusion about it.
I would agree with that, and I would say there's some kind of financial component to whatever that decision is too. But she's on the right track. She's making the right decisions there.
Does that make sense, Sherry? She's probably watching TV.
Oh.
Or she's driving.
Oh. Don't answer us then.
Yeah,
I
should
don't
be
know that she
texting while
is. I
driving.
don't know that she is. Okay, does anybody else have any questions?
So while you're waiting for that,
Yes.
Can I just throw out to the panel members a political thing? I mean, There's a lot of stuff going on in our government, and we just had a primary. And while there has been some positive movement, there's still a lot of angst about what's going to happen in the midterms. Is there anything that you guys are?
What are we getting?
What are you
The
getting
midterms.
for midterms?
I would say it feels like, okay, I mean, I have to phrase this so much. It feels like a hard won fight, but we're winning, and we know who we are. But we're starting to move forward. The Democrats are starting to get a stronghold.
It looks good to me as well. I think there are going to be, there's a lot more conversation that will be happening from now until then. And I think this will be clarifying, not just conversation between like-minded people, but a lot of talking coming out of people's mouths that's going to make people say, wait, what? Excuse me? What'd you say? Oh, no, we can't go down that road. So I think I also think there may very well be events that happen that we don't have any awareness of yet that could steer things in the right direction.
Okay, I just wanted, Sao Ling has a question, and Sao Ling wants to know about romantic relationships.
Ooh.
Can I ask you, do I have a romantic relationship? Is there a relationship coming into her life?
All right, well, look.
Okay.
Sao Ling, what sign are you again? Oh, you're a Gemini. Oh. Well, happy birthday, that's right. That's hard to answer as far as astrology is concerned. Hey, Joanne Clark. I'm going to let the girls handle that with the tarot because I think it's probably a little bit better.
Okay, Trish, what do you got?
Okay, so I have, for the time being, it's time to finish clearing out old relationships or just the emotions that hold her back. And I do have her walking into her future, and I do see these two men. I see these two men. I think she's more intrigued with one than the other, but there are these two possibilities coming up, and I don't think she chooses either one of these.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I don't think she should choose either one
Oh,
of those.
maybe that's what that is then. Thank you, Eric. But then I do see someone that she has a good heart-to-heart communication with in the future. Maybe if she's looking for a new job, it'll be after she finds a new job.
Oh. So you see it as something work-related. Huh.
I don't know about work-related from what I see, but I do think that she needs to, maybe work-related. But I do think that she needs to broaden her horizons, broaden her field of what? Search field. Broaden the search field. I do think she will meet someone at least, if not more than one. And I think that the advice would be to be wary. Just because they pop up doesn't mean that they're who you want to have pop up. And so I think it's just important to keep your guard up. But yes, I do see here choices. More than one.
Oh, that's interesting.
More than one.
And I would agree with that. I think you're going to be looking, there's going to be, as they said, options coming in, but you're going to be like, okay, this is not working. This is not what, no. But right around the timing of some kind of, a change with the job, but I don't see you moving from the job. So promotion, that sort of thing. If that will bring up more, I think that speaks to what Erica's talking about, the field of opportunities.
Right.
It's going to put you out there in a way that's going to bring in something really nice, actually, because I do see a healthy relationship coming in. But it's after some other that are not like the best.
Right.
Right.
Well, you know what they say, you got to kiss a lot of frogs.
Sao Ling, you hearing all this? Okay. Christine, do you have any questions? Christine Peters? I think there is a little bit of a delay on here. Oh. Does it make sense, Sally? Oh. Sherry, the other Sherry. Will my husband and I buy a home this year? And I can tell you with that birthday, because you're at the very end of Cancer. The best astrological energies, Jupiter will be trine your sun in October. Well, that's September, October. From an astrologer's point of view, will be the time when that goes. If you're going to put on the market, that's a prime time to sell a house and get a good price for it. Okay? The girls are going to also pull cards on you too.
And it has to be buying?
Well, my husband and I buy a home this year. Oh, I thought you said sell. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I don't see it this year.
Yeah. Now, I do see a move, but it doesn't feel like we're buying a home. We're moving home, but I don't know if you're looking to rent something new, but it feels like the buying's going to be a wait.
Right.
I agree with both of you, but I get it more like, oh, let's go out and look. Let's get this. No, forget it. They keep going back and forth on decisions, or maybe they find something and it doesn't turn out to be as good. So I think they're not going to find a place they want to buy.
Right. I feel like it's a very much a Dorothy experience, where they'll look at a lot of places and then discover what Dorothy discovered.
So I am getting eventually.
There's no place like home.
There's no place. I am getting eventually, after trials and tribulations, that they are going to find just the perfect place.
Oh, good.
But I think that's the issue. It's finding the place.
Oh,
Okay. My friend Christine would like to know about romantic relationship clarification. I gave her a reading yesterday.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you girls go to it and see if it agrees with what I said.
Relationship clarification.
Christine is a Gemini.
Oh, Dynamo.
Yeah, it's Gemini night, right? Wait. Okay, wait a second. Sal, go give it 1 second. We're going to take care of Christine and we'll get back to you, okay?
So, what's this? Oh, Christine is her name?
Yeah, Christine, yeah.
Okay, so I see that there is currently some confusion on this front, some things that she doesn't know that she needs clarification on. I think she'll get the clarification in this relationship, and it looks really good, actually. I see a good outcome.
Because you see a relationship coming into her life.
Yes,
Okay.
a very, very good one. Again, I don't think it's someone that she knows now.
Yep.
I think it's someone new.
Yep.
And I think she thinks that it won't happen because it hasn't so far. So, of course, why would it?
Yeah.
But that's not the right logic to use because I think that, again, form follows function, right? And our intention creates our reality. And so I have the moon and the key here. And that's a reminder that if you set your intention on finding the right person will appear. And that's not a truism or a platitude. That's what the cards are saying in this particular situation.
I saw something literally exactly the same thing as what I saw for her this summer, yeah.
It feels like something she's been waiting. Yeah, I do see it's been a long time, and she's losing hope. But are you looking at this happening like around October, like the beginning of Libra, late September?
It's,
October?
I think I had said that everything would be kind of going, but I figured she'd meet somebody over the summer, what I was
Okay,
feeling. But
so
yeah.
in something nice by that time.
But you know what, you're right though, because Jupiter moves into Sagittarius, and that would be Jupiter opposed her sun, so that makes sense.
Oh, cool. Trish, what do you got?
Yeah, I have feeling a little defeated and sad, but then a brand new beginning. I'm getting the Ace of Cups, something that makes her very happy. So it's either late summer or after summer, because I am feeling it's summertime. And but there is, I don't know, some sort of competition or struggle. I don't know. And that's minor. Oh, I should just put this as just like a little minor thing. So I don't think it's going to be a relationship that they have to work at.
Okay.
It's not going to be, seen from across the room and fireworks go off,
Okay. All right.
which is okay.
Yeah.
It makes it makes her very happy.
Good.
Okay. Sao Ling has another question. How come I feel spirits around me? I feel dizziness. How can I avoid that kind of feeling?
Oh, but you're very open selling, so I don't know how you're
Ground.
Yeah, grounding
Ground,
is-
eat, stamp your feet, wear heavy clothes.
I'm not even gonna use the cards for that.
I didn't mean to, but I'm serious.
Right,
Like
right.
wear you boots, and I know it's summertime, but she has to ground. Then
Shower.
yeah.
Well, that's good clearing, but not grounding. Selling, you're very, very, I know Selling. She's very intuitive, very open. I think maybe you spend a little too much time in that state. I think it would be good for you to actually see yourself sending your energy into Mother Earth, which is one of the things I do before I do readings. I send it down and I anchor myself in the ground, and then I bring it back up.
Take
Eating
yoga
is good.
class, eating heavy
taking
foods.
a walk, if you jog,
Sounds
dance, any kind of physical activity would be great
Right.
for helping you to burn that off. And if I don't know if you're bothered by them. I never thought you were. I know you're very open. You see them and hear them all the time. But you can always, you're in control. You can always say, like I've had to do, look, guys, to my spirit team, not tonight. I've got a headache. I need to go to sleep. So don't bother me right now. You are free to set up those parameters for when they come in and when they don't.
Also, Sao Ling, don't be afraid to go down the ocean. It's close by.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Yeah.
a giant vat of salt water, natural salt water, and it's good for grounding and clearing. And that's for all of us. It's the overlooked resource that's around us that we never. I know it's kind of gross water, but
The salts that you sell here, would that be good for
oh,
grounding?
sure, yeah, absolutely. But the ocean is the best one. It's just
Yeah,
Mother
you
Nature.
put your feet there and sand, kind of
Right.
buries your
Oh,
feet, and you
yeah.
get grounded.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, my friend Sherry wants to know, please ask, is there more travel soon? Lots of laughter.
Yes.
I think she's being sarcastic because the girl has traveled a lot in the last year. She went to Israel for 3 weeks, and then she went down to, she just came back from a several-week trip to Vietnam and Asia.
No, I see her I see her traveling.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's more too.
I see her traveling
Yeah.
and being free, and she's gonna plan and think, and then an offer is gonna come up or an experience. I have to do that, and so yes, I
She
do
loves
see.
it, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Travel,
No,
because
yeah,
I'm just saying, like, my bags are always ready to go. I'm ready to go here.
Maybe that's why she's not gonna buy a house.
I think
No, this is
That
different
was-
Sherry.
Oh, different Sherry.
This is a different Sherry. I mean, this Sherry owns one. It's
Oh,
I
okay.
think I do see that there is definitely more travel, a lot more travel. And I think she's also wondering, am I ever going to catch a break? Like, when am I going to rest?
She's going to rest when she's dead. She's one of those people.
Right.
I promise you.
So I see a lot of continued travel. Yes.
And this is travel for business?
No,
Oh.
no.
Oh, wow.
No.
Because I'm seeing
a
some
free
kind of
spirit.
opportunity.
She just
with-
travels because.
I'm seeing an opportunity with business, so I know that's taking me in a different
Okay,
direction.
okay.
But can I ask what she does for a living?
She's a limo driver.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I owns your own company?
No.
There's some opportunity coming out in that I feel it's like an unexpected opportunity. I'm seeing you kind of making a rush decision about it, but it pays off for you. So I don't know what that it might have something to do with the limo. It
It
might
could
not.
be. I agree. It could be because I have the ring and the ship here, and that could mean travel through some sort of contractual agreement.
Oh,
So travel
Oh.
for work.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Sherry, there's some, Sherry Alkin. There is some work-related travel coming up for you. I don't know what that's about. Maybe you're going down to Central America with some packages.
right.
You're coming back with them.
We don't want to know. Don't
Yeah, we
tell
don't
us.
wanna
Don't
know.
tell us.
Right.
Hate me.
Well, no, it could be. I remember I worked with a fellow who, his wife was from Honduras, and her family was in business. They would buy old school buses from the U.S., from the northern states. They used to drive them down to Honduras and then refit them, and they would become public transportation buses.
Oh, wow.
So, there's
nice.
maybe she's going to drive
that
buses
could-
from
you never
Detroit to Honduras.
It's better than packages.
Yeah, true.
Sherry doesn't do that. I'm just kidding. Anybody else have any questions? I guess not.
Rob, do you have a
You
question?
got one there.
Oh, you do?
We do?
Yeah, Sao Ling has asked, will I move soon?
Oh,
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, sure. I think it stopped scrolling. Oh well.
Nancy, you should watch your cards.
I just, I don't feel comfortable
It's a
doing
good
it.
place to practice.
Well,
Yes, it is.
I think it's when you say soon, I think it's going to be a little bit of a wait.
I think
Money in the right place. So it might even be like sometime. It might be like the end of this year, calendar year. So we're not looking at a long wait, but it's making a decision to actually do it Sagittarius or so. What did you get?
so I have the overall sense that she's got some choices to make. There's no hard and fast place that she's decided on, and so that it will take time to fall in love with somewhere, and then it's a go.
Yeah.
well, I do have, I'm out of here, but I don't know when that's going to be because I guess she's anxious to move.
Geminis are anxious to do everything.
Oh, yeah, very anxious.
Constant state of anxious.
It's a matter of I have maybe finding the right place, maybe situations with her living space now. There's some issues in her way, so she's not going to be free and clear to move quite yet. But I think this year sometime.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, we have someone. Deborah, when will Jenna open her yoga studio, and where is the best location? Huh. Well, where's the best location? I think is kind of hard.
That is, since we don't know
I
where.
can't do when.
You can't? Okay. When?
We're gonna see when. What sign? What sign is Jenna?
When is she gonna? The question was, when is she gonna open?
When and
will
where?
she open, and where
Where's
is the
the
best
best?
location?
Maybe tarot's better for that then.
Yeah, it's hard for astrology. Yeah.
When?
Well, I am getting kind of after the summer,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I think she's going to find a place and then be not sure about it. So it feels very things are up in the air. But I think she is going to find a place, and it's going to be referred to her. Someone's going to say, "Have you checked this place out?" And then that's going to kind of send her in the right direction. But this is a big choice for her. This is a big. I don't know if she feels comfortable going ahead with the plan.
I'm seeing wanting to, but like, that false start.
Yeah, so that's going to be in the way of it actually opening.
Do you
De-
see a water? Oh, I'm sorry.
Deborah, I would tell her with that birthday, the 8th. So I would say I would wait until the new year. Right now, Jupiter will be moving into Sagittarius this fall. Jupiter is a planet of luck and opportunity. It'll be in a sign that has to do with opportunity, and it'll be making favorable aspect to that Leo sun in the new year. So I would probably wait until the new year. I mean, that's what, from an astrologer's perspective, that would be one of the best opportunities going to open up.
Also, I think I would advise her to be sure that she's aware of all the ins and outs of what it means to own a business.
Okay.
I think she needs to do that, and I also think there's a man who will be helpful to her in opening the space.
And as far as the where question, I'm thinking close by. I get a sense of close by.
When you say close by to like this area, because I keep getting a water element to like either being somewhere near their water
Okay.
or a water element of some kind for some reason. But I also agree with what you said about the timing. I think she's going to get news through a friend. That goes to what you said, Trish. Like news around the beginning of Sagittarius, but not making the move for a good month or more. So that makes sense.
Okay.
One last question.
Yeah, and there's Alan Lee. How is my career?
Alan.
Alan, what sign are you?
How old is Alan?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Mid-20s.
Alan, how old are you? Erica wants to know. I think she's
That
interested.
helps me. Mid-20s is good enough.
No, I don't think he's mid-20s. I don't think so.
Yes.
Deborah says thank you, thank you.
Oh, you welcome.
Alan is an Aries.
And he's how old?
And how old are you? You don't have to give us your exact age. Just an approximate's good if you want to do that. Oh, okay. Alan is young.
How old is he?
25.
Oh, okay, mid-20s.
See,
Okay,
she
yeah.
knew. She knew.
Okay.
Okay, Aries. Well, Jupiter is again about to move into Sagittarius. There's going to be some good luck for you from an astrologer's perspective, Alan. Over the summer, we've got when the sun moves into Leo, which is in about July 21st, 22nd. That'll be a very good time. It's a power time for you, and there'll be some positive turn of events then. And then, really starting in the fall, right after Thanksgiving, and moving all the way through into almost the summer of next year. In fact, into the fall of next year, there's favorable astrological energies that will bring a lot of opportunity in your life. I'm guessing you're restless, and so the change will be there for you then. I don't know if the girls have something to say too.
Okay. What do you got, Trish?
Oh, okay. I have maybe some false starts in the past. This is but I'm ready. I'm ready now to start building or to move on. But I feels like there's maybe some position or something that requires a lot of paperwork or a lot of research or something, or I don't know, diplomatic something or others. But it just feels like it's a long process. But if he sticks with the process, it'll be excellent for him. So it's a matter of doing taking care of all the required elements, and he'll be very happy and be able to move. It feels like he wants to move.
Okay, I know what the situation is, but I'm going to let Trish. I'm going to let Erica.
I agree with Trish. I think there have been some false starts, and I also think that you need to be really savvy about doing your job search. Make sure that your resume speaks to the kinds of jobs that you're looking for. That's really important. I feel like there's something that you don't know about how to proceed, but that you're going to figure it out, because I'm mirroring incense and then the bouquet at the end. You'll figure it out. So I feel like it could have something to do, I agree with you, about paperwork. What were you?
There's some procedures.
There's some
or
procedural
requirements.
Yes,
requirements.
procedural things that you need to be aware of that are requirements for this job. And these are not requirements or procedures that anyone is going to tell you once you get there for the interview. So you'd be wise to, for one thing, go online and do your research there, because I think a lot of the answers to your question lie there. So figure out what it is you don't know first before you proceed.
And I agree with what they said, and I know Alan is going through real estate school.
Oh.
So I think that might be the procedures. That's not his dream job, but that is something that's going to help him move forward in his dream job. And I keep seeing for you, Alan, social media. You got to step it up.
Yeah, social media.
There's something with that's really big for you in creating opportunities.
Yeah.
And that's with the other work that you do. So, cool. But success.
I just want to add in, somebody wrote in, Kay wrote in that she's an artist. How do you guys get intact with your predictions? I'm assuming you mean exact.
Oh.
Because I'm not sure what the other way we mean. But exact is hard. With astrology, you can pinpoint it. Astrology can pinpoint days or months when an event is likely to happen. There's also methods with the tarot. Sometimes the numbers on the tarot card can give you exact measurements. Also, sometimes it's just a psychic impression.
I also feel that she may be asking something different, which is, and maybe not, but it's worth talking about for a minute, is how are our predictions in sync? Because they do tend to be in sync between the three of us women. And I think that's just energetic, right?
We do have a good flow. We do,
Right.
yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that we're tapping into truth in that.
Yes,
That's
Yeah.
right.
I think
That's
so.
right.
Yeah, it's from just observing, just it's if that's what the answer is,
Then that's what the answer is.
Yes.
Oh,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you,
That's the
Nancy.
goal of the show in a large way, is watching you guys perform just casually at dinner parties and seeing that you are all in touch with one another. It's not easy to get a panel of people that are as in sync with each other.
That's true.
And so that's what I think gives it merit and gives it clarity. So I'm thinking,
I think we're done.
yeah, all right, that should do it for this episode.
Thanks everybody who tuned in and asked questions.
Thank you all very, very much. Our hearts go out to you guys. We hope you'll follow us again, and our next one will advertise the next live
Yeah,
one.
this was just a test.
And thank you. I think we had a pretty successful test. Nancy, thank you so much for being in the flesh here with us today
And thank you
and
for
listening to us go. And of course, the panel: Chris, Wendy, Erica, Trish. You guys are amazing as always. So, minds open, filters off.
Thanks.
Bye.